don't say anything. Just don't say it.
We're keeping that take.
We're keeping it. Hello, Merry Christmas, everyone! Of all my fellow readers, this is I, Dark Symphony 777, with a new Q&A. Before I actually start, you may notice that the background's different because I'm actually at my friend's house, and they actually may come and just stop by and just lean over the camera, say hi, and say something stupid. Say hi.
I'll just say hey.
Yeah, say if you want to say hey.
Hello.
What's up, people?
Call yourself like a nickname or something like that. If you want, or show yourself on camera if you want.
Okay.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Louise, and guess what? Girls play video games too.
And of course, I'm in the background.
He's in the background.
I'm in the background. Multiweed57. What's up, YouTube?
Yeah, this is my friends. I've known them for years. So just leave in the comments and say hi to them or something like that. So it's the end of the year, and I asked these loyal people, all of you, have sent me questions. And I think it's about time I answered them. So we're gonna go from basically the first question to the last question, based on when everyone has actually sent me the question. So the first question I've asked is my first 6 questions by Blad. Oh, God dang, I didn't know these names. Bladium Dragon. Why? Bladium. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Bladium Dragon. The first question is, have you ever played any of the American McGee's Alice games? He's been working on a third for a very long time now. He's the one that got me to realize the psychological horror is a horror I want to write. I have played both the original American McGee's Alice as well as Alice Madness Returns. I've heard that he wants to make, I believe it's called Oz? No, not Ozlands. I completely forgot what the third game is going to be called. My opinion on both games, the first game, the control stick. Like, they are so garbage. But
I got to see a little bit of him playing it, and yeah, it has shown its age.
It's really heavily shown its age. It's really... The controls are really stiff. I don't know if you can literally play the game on, with the mouse anymore. Because you have to actually get it through Madness Returns. Because I don't know if it's even listed as, a single game by itself anymore. But I will have to say the atmosphere is actually really good. The game, I would actually say the original core gameplay, besides the controls, is done better than in Madness Returns. While with Madness Returns, I love the story. However, I honestly don't think the gameplay is extremely dull and uninteresting. Just, I'm not a fan of it. I just wish there was more variety with everything you can do in the game. I do love the thematic elements. But overall, you play Madness Returns for the story rather than the game itself. I have actually did a review on a retelling of Madness Returns, Alice Reflection of Madness, and I really love that story because of how it changes. It focuses more on the psychological aspect, which is not something that's not present in the original either of the games. Despite the fact, Wonderland is such a weird place. You want to expect something very psychological horror driven. But it's fine. It's fine as it is.
You mentioned that you would play the original American McGee's Alice just for the story. I feel the same way.
No. Madness Returns.
Oh, Madness Returns?
Madness Returns. There's barely any story in the original American McGee's.
Oh, okay.
But that one focuses more on the atmosphere. It has a better atmosphere, while Madness Returns focuses more on the thematic elements. So basically, in between each area, you control Alice through the streets of London, and that sets up certain thematic elements that are going to be present in that area in Wonderland.
Gotcha.
Area, depending on what happens.
Gotcha. I was gonna make a comparison to the original Kingdom Hearts because that game is about very old, and it's definitely showing its age when it comes to the controls, especially if you
Yeah.
compare it to like the later entries in the series.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Although you could make the opposite like comparison with like the main problem I have with Kingdom Hearts 3 is like they just give you way too many movement options, and it just feels off.
Especially if you're playing on critical difficulty.
Yeah.
Like, you need that to try and balance out the fact that it's extremely difficult at first.
And then like it really doesn't help that the fact that like as the Kingdom Hearts games went by, they like made the magic completely overpowered. It's like why?
I'm until you play 3 in critical mode, then
until you play 3 in critical mode, yeah. Okay, so question number 2: do you have any favorite fan fiction, such as a specific setting or in general? Currently, my favorite fan fiction of all time is Not This Time Fate by Korra Alon, the Ruby fic where John is stuck in sort of like a pseudo Groundhog Day loop, and that is such a really, really cool story. And even if you're not a fan of shipping, the whole idea of John hooking up with Weiss is really well done. I love the whole sentimentality of like the whole sort of jokey family feel of it, like constantly like throughout. There's like a running gag throughout the story where Yang constantly says, "Oh, Daddy John, can I make a pun? No. Are you gonna spank me? Maybe. You're joking. No. Blake, help me out here." But before then, for many, many years, my favorite fanfiction was Better Off Alone. And because I'm actually a big fan of Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and having a story that kind of is a somewhat similar retelling of the latter half of that game, focusing more on Vivian, is a really, really touching story. It was very emotional. It did make me cry at the end. However, as the years went by, kind of like the only thing I really don't like about that story was the ending. I think Vivian being brought back to life was really much of a cop out. I get why Vivian kind of would have needed a happy ending. I just think it's still a cop out. It's just me. Question number 3: do you have a favorite video game? Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I played that game once when I was a kid, and I fell in love with it. And Castlevania currently is like my favorite video game franchise ever. I love the atmosphere. I love the music. I love the characters. I love the anime, except for season 3, because we don't talk about season 3. I honestly hope that Nocturne doesn't really screw up, because unlike the original Castlevania anime, which focused on Castlevania 3, you have Nocturne that's focused on Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night, as in the 2 most famous games that make Castlevania. So they have way more expectations going into that one. But yeah, I love Castlevania. I actually own Castlevania Symphony of the Night on my mobile device. Like, I play it sometimes. I haven't played it in a while, but I'll probably play it again around Christmas in like a day or 2. I even got like Bloodstained Virtual Night. I can't wait for the sequel to come out. It's an overall fun game. If you had to extend it to like genres, Metroidvanias are probably my favorite genres, that sort of thing. Question number 4: there is a webcomic called Kill 6 Billion Demons. It's a masterfully crafted comic. If you know of it, what are your thoughts? If you don't read it, this is a threat. How dare you threaten me to read a webcomic? How dare you? How dare you? No, I'm just kidding. I never even heard of it. Maybe I might read it. Who knows? You never know. I know there's like one webcomic that I read from time to time that I like, but it's not this one. Question number 5. There's another called The Skybox. A few of the pages don't work because Flash caught the dreaded. Oh, as in Flash ended. Okay. But it's a really interesting webcomic with very good art. It's simplistic. It's great. This is not a question. This is just a statement. I never bothered to actually look at these questions, but now that I did, this is not even a question. This is just a statement. Like, okay, this is just a statement. It's like, oh,
I'm just like thinking of the whole like, this person make your state.
Ask your question. Here's a statement. That's not a question.
Your opening statement.
or like that old Three Stooges gag. Say something. Last question by Bladium Dragon. Have you played Metroid Dread yet? No. I've heard a lot of good things about it. And this is from someone who really loves the Metroid Prime trilogy. I'm more interested in playing Prime 4, but I know for a fact that's still a long, long way away. But yeah,
it's gonna be a while.
It's gonna be a while.
Prime 4 comes around. I do have Metroid Dread actually, so if you ever want to play it,
maybe.
And
That's
Dread. I do know. I was gonna throw my fun fact here. Like Dread was originally planned to be on the DS, but then it got cut out due to like technical reasons.
that wasn't through like development hell for like,
it went
a
through
long time.
for like 8 years because it was referenced for those of you who know, because you probably don't know about the backstory. Like Dread was referenced way back in Metroid Prime 3, and a lot of people actually missed it because it's on a very, very like out of the way scan in the pirate homeworld. So basically, partway through the pirate homeworld, you come across all these scans, and if you're not scanning everything, you'll completely miss it. But one of them is like, oh, Project Dread is in development, which is a reference to Metroid Dread. And Dread was originally supposed to be on the Wii as well, but then it got pushed back to the 3DS because of hardware limitations, and then they tried to get it on the 3DS. That got pushed back again because of hardware limitations. And so the director for the people working on Dread saying they wanted to wait until they had something strong enough to be able to withstand Metroid Dread, to be able to get everything they want in there, which turned out to be the Switch. And I remember when they first announced Metroid Dread, it's like, and my friend actually called me. It's like, hey, you announced this. I know. They've announced Metroid Dread. Yes.
Yeah. Well, to the way to hear, I told Dark Symphony about it. We both lost.
I was like, I don't care. No, when like the Game Awards that year when they announced Metroid Prime 4, I was like, no, Nintendo won just for that announcement. I don't care what anything else was. They won just for announcing Prime 4. I don't care. Okay, so the next question is the next group of questions by Happiness Studio 3889. Question number 1: why did you start reviewing fan fiction? And this is actually a question I wanted to have you be here for, this specific question, because I wanted to tell you this whole story.
Yeah, I've always wondered how, like, what really brought you into, like, reviewing fan fiction.
Okay, so
as opposed to like proper established literature and all that.
So originally, I think I mentioned this in a previous Q&A, but when in middle school, when YouTube was first starting out, like around 2007, 2008.
Yeah, like it was like a fledgling website.
Yes. Me, Fendel, Luigi, and another friend, we all announced that we were trying to hands at YouTube. And then we didn't have the equipment, we put that off. And then around 2012, I believe, me and Fendel tried our hands again. And we tried to do a Let's Play of Resident Evil. But that didn't work out because his recording equipment completely broke down.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't blame him. That's also why, if you actually go through, like, the first Let's Play I did when I came back was Resident Evil 1. That was kind of like, I wanted to finish that game. I wanted to beat it. So after that, I still wanted to try to do the YouTube thing strictly as a hobby. I'm pretty sure Fandel and Multilay, they want to do more like full time, right? You want to do like more full time?
Something like that. I want to start off short and then, or rather small, like maybe do live streams. If it does become lucrative enough, I might go for like a transition.
Yeah.
But at this point, I want to make sure that, if I'm going to go for it, it needs to be well established that this is going to be the best possible path for me moving forward.
And that's fine. So,
because like the thing is that like you see a lot of people pushing to try and be more like established as a name in like the internet for like like Twitch or YouTube or any form of social media influencing of some sort.
Yeah.
And it's not easy.
It's really not.
Yeah, it kind of comes down to chance at that point.
Yeah. Well, at the tip of the day, don't try YouTube. Mainly try YouTube as a hobby. I say if you get big, go ahead and try your hand at it.
Yeah. This is like when you hear the phrase "go big or go home." It's more along the lines of you shouldn't go big if it's not going to work.
Yeah. That's true.
You only make that jump if you know for an absolute fact that it's going to work in your favor. If you already have that strike of gold that want like that 15 minutes of fame, then yeah, go for it, I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
But as far as I'm concerned, you're better off taking it slow and just hoping that you get that chance that you're looking for to make it big.
Yeah. So continuing on, after the whole thing with your recording equipment busting up, I still wanted to try my hands. I was still determined to at least try it because it's like I grew up on the idea that if you make a promise, you should try and keep it. And this was a promise we all made to ourselves. It's like I wanted to at least legitimately try my hand at doing this. And so it progressed until I got a computer, a laptop with built-in recording equipment. And so what happened was during the original thing was I wasn't going to do fan fiction record. I was going to do like gaming stuff. And
Let's plays and stuff
like that. And I was with my ex when I tried again. And the plan was the first Let's Play back was going to be the Insane trilogy because we even pre-ordered it. I tried to get like some microphone and stuff like that to try and record it. And what happened is it all fell to pieces because my ex was super controlling. Since it was a blind Let's Play because I was not familiar with Crash Bandicoot. I tried to play Crash Bandicoot 1. We do one video, and she's like off to the side, listening to us. And at the moment she said, "Oh yeah, you have to only talk about Crash Bandicoot." It's like that's literally possible because this is a blind Let's Play.
She was basically backseating the entire
She was backseating, and she constantly used the excuses like, "Oh, I don't want this channel to be demonetized." Like, I'm not trying to monetize it. I'm not trying to do all these things to it. It's like if I want to, I do because I've seen lots of Let's Players even say nothing and just play the games, and they get like tons of views.
Oh yeah, like long plays and like no commentary walkthroughs.
Yeah, like that. And this went on for like 2 days straight of me constantly recording one video, just the first couple hours of Crash Bandicoot, getting my voice sore, and her constantly saying, "No, you have to do it this way." And I just at that point I gave up trying to do the gaming stuff. I just completely gave up. And let me finish. And so but I still wanted to do the YouTube thing. So I thought, well, let's not do the gaming thing. So it's like, I looked into myself. What can I do that I like to do that I could talk about without my ex just jumping down my throat? And I thought, well, I read fan fiction. I do a lot of fan fiction related stuff. So I even went online to YouTube to see like, is anyone doing fan fiction related stuff? And I was like, there's no one doing fan fiction related stuff. It's like, at all. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to talk about what I love to talk about, which is literature, because all my friends know I read fan fiction, and they're okay with it. They have fun. I even tell them about my fan fiction stuff. And I go, I'm going to do that. And if you even go back to my earliest videos when I'm first starting out, and it's still very rough, I'm at my ex's place, and I think in one of them you could probably see my son in the background, and I love him. He's all. I love him at all. But yeah, that's why I started reviewing specifically fan fiction on this channel, because it was something I was extremely passionate about, and I wanted to talk about it, and I figured I'm fulfilling a niche that no one else is doing. Because even today, in 2022, so many years after, like 5-6 years after I already started the channel, there's not really anyone doing what I do. And I'm okay with that. If other people do what I want to do, that's fine too. I don't care. I'm having fun. I'm talking about what I'm passionate about. And that's something that it's just fun. You know, let's see. The second question: what is your favorite fictional character? That's a hard one. Alucard. Alucard, Miriam, most of the Castlevania characters. Most. I don't like Bronner. He's bland. From Portrait Ruin. He's bland. Also Nathan Graves. He's just nothing. He's just like. I like Circle of the Moon for the soundtrack, not rather than like any other story. Well, then again, what story in Circle of the Moon? It's just like, oh, they show up, let's go Dracula. That's it. That's it.
Well, you can basically see that for all like the classic Manias and all that.
Yeah, you make an argument for that. No, probably not all the Castlevanias. Number 3, what is a recent anime that you really like? I don't, because I'm always at work and I'm spending all my time mostly reading, I don't really watch a lot of animes. I would have to say probably the only anime I've watched, like the only recent anime I've watched was Monster Musume. And I prefer the manga rather than the anime because
I guess it's funny considering that's more of an ecchi series than anything else.
It's borderline pornographic.
Y'all are weird.
Hey, don't blame me for liking Monster Musume. It has slang girl.
Whatever.
It has soup.
If you've seen some of the shirts that he's gotten recently,
Yeah.
you would understand what he could like. Well, one, you could tell he's a fan, and 2, you would understand why.
Yeah, and also Toho is not an anime.
It's more of a game. There was like an animated series, but like,
But that's uncanny.
yeah.
That's just unfair. Question number 4. What is your inspiration? I already answered that in question number 1. Someone else actually asked that same question, so I think I can skip that one. What are your favorite YouTubers? I'm actually a big fan of Swiftor. I know for a fact you can actually, if I had one of the Modern Warfares on Steam, I could probably actually join him for a game. I'd actually like to do that. Like just draw. And I believe in a recent video, Swiftor said, "Hey, you can just record from your point of view anyway." Huh. Yeah, ball of man plays Simon Says. If you get it wrong, he shoots you. Other YouTubers that I really like. I like Hard Like Joe. He's very entertaining. Rada, come on, it's Rada. If you're a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh, you know who Rada is. No questions asked. Other YouTubers I like. Jupiter Climb is a YouTuber earlier this year I got into. He does a lot of Castlevania-esque speedruns and stuff like that.
He does a lot of Castlevania speedruns.
Does a lot of Castlevania.
He's more of a Twitch streamer, but he uploads a lot of his runs on YouTube.
Yeah. You Always Win. Well, one more.
Kind of the same as I brought you guys with that. We're a little,
Okay, I'll try and hurry it up.
And we don't have no bridges in this house.
We understand.
Okay. What's your favorite game/game series? Already answered this question. Castlevania, Metroidvanias. What is the type of media that represents better your style? Media, like I guess literature as a whole. That's technically media.
Like a medium of some sort.
It's
like,
game, anime,
like
series.
Music.
Yeah, I guess games.
Games, music,
literature,
TV,
sort of
comics.
thing.
Literature, definitely.
I'm almost done.
You read a lot. So.
I read a lot. I've been reading since like 2011. No, since I was a kid.
Like if you gave him a book, it doesn't matter which one it is, he would read that.
I was gonna read it. Okay, next. We're about halfway.
And he'd probably be like engrossed in it the entire day.
Yeah, that's the first two groups were like the biggest groups, and everything is like only like 2-3 questions.
Okay.
The next group of questions by Peter Gang 78. Hey, Peter Gang. Is Jaw. Yeah, hi Jaw. If you have to pick one cartoon that deserves a revival, which will it be? Honestly, I know this is technically a cop out because it's not really a cartoon, but it's an anime. I would really like to see a revival of Big O. That's just me. Because I love Big O. That is a great anime. Watch it if you ever get the chance. Most of the series is on YouTube. Yeah. The most cursed fan fiction you have ever reviewed. Oh God.
Cursed, you said?
Cursed. I actually thought it was like worst, and I would have said then I would have said another Ruby fan fiction. Cursed. I actually don't know anything by Yoshizilla Rhinosaurus. That guy's whole specialty is he just writes cursed fan fiction. Hey, what do you write? It's like I write stories where girls from Nintendo franchises fart a lot. Why? Because I'm weird like that. That's it. Thoughts on the One Piece dub? Thoughts on the One Piece dub? I like the fact the author, this person specifically says, not the 4 kids!
Yeah, I mean, the only redeeming quality of the 4Kids dub was the fucking rap.
It was the
intro.
rap and Zoro. Zoro at least tried. The voice actor for Zoro at least tried there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you have Sanji sounding like a New Yorker.
That didn't weirdly kind of fit, honestly.
Does it?
Weirdly, like in the Kirby anime when they made Meta Knight Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like
I mean, for
kind of like
Kirby-
that, kind of like that vibe. But then again, Texan DDD would fit way better.
Yeah.
I mean, after all, he needs a monster cloud with that Kirby. Thoughts on One Piece? I think the dub is all right. Honestly, I think I'm not a big fan of. It depends on the anime. Some animes do dubs better. Some animes do the sub better. It depends. Favorite dub character? Zoro. I think he sounds exactly how I think Zoro would sound like. Also like Usopp. There, fan fiction tropes you despise. I actually talked about this in a previous video. A common fanfic. I think any fan fiction trope can work if it's used well. I guess the one fan fiction trope I don't like is the whole amnesia thing. I'm not a big fan of it, but again, if the author can make it work well, they can make it work well.
You probably wouldn't like Final Fantasy V in that case, because I know there's at least
I don't like
one amnesiac character in that game.
Cloud is technically an amnesiac character.
But this is more along the lines of the fact that it's more on trauma than anything else.
Yeah.
Whereas with Galuf, the proper amnesiac in that game actually straight up loses his cause more psychological trauma, whereas with Galuf it's more physical because of the way you actually meet him.
Okay. Have you ever encountered a toxic fanfic author before? There was one. It's I can't remember, but it's because how I whenever I review a fan fiction, I always leave a link. I always message the author through the fanfiction PM system or anything like that. And I remember there was one author that was just completely insulting me, like, "Oh, how dare you review my stories? You should have asked for permission. You're not supposed to ask permission. You have to ask permission. You gotta do all this." And I'm like, dude, you're the one who published a story in a public forum. So yes, if my way of reviewing is completely different, then I should be allowed. Then why are you? If you're getting this pissed off, then why are you writing these stories and putting them in a public forum in the first place? I never understood that. It's like, oh, I only want specific people to review my stories. Like, then that's not reviewing. That's literally having a bunch of guessing. Okay. Next group of questions from Mechanical Oven, the author of the Paper Chopper series. What are some of your favorite stories out there? And in terms of stories, I like Jurassic Park. I already mentioned Not This Time Fate and Better Off Alone. There's that. How about your favorite comic? Like the first question. From a comic, there is one comic that I actually really like. Well, two web comics. One is Irma. It's about a sort of like what happens if like Sadako from The Ring had like a little daughter, and the daughter's like the most adorable thing ever, but all the adults are like involuntarily scared of her because of just because of she's technically a yokai, and it's basically horror for kids. It's actually very cutesy. I would recommend that. I did actually pay $50 for to fund the Irma video game, and I just recently found out they actually unleashed like some new gameplay footage of it not too long ago, and I honestly can't wait to play that game. I'm gonna play the living daylights of it on my channel. The other webcomic is a webcomic called Hellgasm Slaughter. You would like this webcomic, Hellgasm. It's about a girl. Basically, all of Earth gets eaten up by hell, and this girl and a couple other people, they have to work together because it turns out this girl was actually a archdemon that was removed from hell by Satan, and she's trying to go back into hell, and she has to eat other demons to get stronger so that way she can kill Satan and take her position as ruler of hell, because now Satan just wants to kill everyone and just basically ruin everything. And it's very gory, but it has a lot of cartoony aspects to it. It's massively entertaining. I would recommend that, unless you're squeamish. Next question: what is the greatest food in existence? Pizza. 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 You like pizza? I love pizza. Got a favorite Kirby copy ability in Kirby? I want to cop out and say all the copy abilities from 64. But that's not a copy ability. Would that count as a copy ability?
Well, individually, yes, but like you have like all these other combinations and all that. And technically speaking, they don't really call them copy abilities.
Okay, so we want to call I guess Stone Kirby, mainly because I like all the Easter eggs that Sakurai does for whenever you turn into stone. There's a lot of really cool references, like a Samus statue of the Womp. There's even a statue of like the dark, like other villains like the Roach and Darkstar from Squeak Squad. I think in Star Allies, one of the statues is actually, I think it's actually the three Mace Sisters. I don't know about that, but yeah. Okay, I just got four questions left. Next two questions. Who was your favorite Paper Mario partner overall in any of the games? Take a wild guess.
That might be a bit confusing because the hat's not there.
Oh yeah, the hat's it's Vivian. It's Vivian. I don't have the hat because the hat's in my friend's place. But yeah, it's Vivian. I literally bought this plushie for $150. You would think I wouldn't do that for any of the maybe Lady Bow, but it's Bow. She'll slap me if I don't. What's your favorite chapter in the games overall? That would be of Glitz and Glory from Thousand Year Door. I really love as a wrestling fan, I love the whole aesthetic. I love the whole story. I love everything about it. It's massively entertaining. I gotta give it to Glitz and Glory. Next one, I'm skipping this one because I'm gonna save this one for last. What is your favorite ice cream? Cookies and cream. I love cookies and cream. It's a very, very. How can I describe cookies and cream?
I don't know. And I love cookies and cream too.
You can't describe cookies and cream. You can't describe the joy that is cookies and cream. Final question by Cardboard Hut. What are your goals, whether personal, YouTube, writing related, for 2023? That is a complicated answer. I honestly don't know how I would answer that.
What was the question?
What are your goals, whether personal, YouTube, or writing related, for 2023?
That's a lot to think about because like it really comes down to the perspective of whoever's being asked that question.
Yeah,
like on my case, because like I just want things to be better on my end when it comes to my standard of living, as well as trying to be more independent.
I guess the only goal I would really have for 2023 would be the same goal I kind of had for a while, is like move away from my family. Because for those who don't know, I have a really, really toxic family.
And I lived with him for
he's lived with me for like
5 years?
7.
7?
7.
Fuck, time flies by.
And Fandel knows my family. And they're really toxic. That's why my recording schedule is so really big.
It's so random.
It's so random. It's like, sometimes I'll go like several weeks without recording, and all of a sudden I record a bunch of stuff. It boils down to, is my family not around so I have the actual time to record?
And half the time he just waits until he comes to my place.
Yeah.
Because at the very least he has some form of like control. I put in quotes because the very least in my place it's not as chaotic.
It's not as chaotic. There's no yelling, stomping, screaming, lots of noise. It's a rather quiet thing. I mean, in terms of YouTube, I would wait a minute. I just realized something.
Did you already answer that question?
No. There was one question. Wait, there was a couple questions I missed. What the hell? I actually just noticed this.
Which ones did you miss?
No, there was a question that was on there by someone else, but I think it was deleted. It was a simple question of post. Yeah. It was a question like it was about health for review. No, what the hell? Huh. That's so weird. That is so weird. Anyway, that question was, would you talk about like incomplete stories and like your channel? Because I only talk about like complete stories. I figured for that question, I'll leave it with this. There are some incomplete stories that I do want to talk about, but I will say if the story, if I say like, if I make it to like 500 subscribers, 500, then I will say, then I will do a stream, not a video, a stream of me talking about some fan fictions that I don't think will ever be completed, and I can probably say I'm going to talk about these. You know, there's that, and I think that's it. You have anything? You have anything to say before I end it?
I guess since you brought up like streams and stuff like that, I have been thinking about trying to, start up my channel again. I've already done like, I guess you could say a rebrand, but I don't know when exactly I'm gonna. Start going back to doing like video game stuff again, because like I feel like I do have the infrastructure to make sure that
I'm pretty sure like we didn't we
live
agree,
streaming especially.
Didn't we agree that like when we moved in together we would do it together?
Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure I have the infrastructure already, but I got to do all the testing.
Okay. Yeah.
So like, with the internet that I have, we're basically set, and especially considering we have much better equipment than what we had back then. So.
Yeah, we have much better equipment like this and the Logic Deck. So yeah, that is all the questions that I was asked, except for I think like the one about I think the person who asked for incomplete stories I think asked a couple more questions, but it's not here anymore. Like if the person like messages me the questions in the comment section, I'll answer it there if you want. But yeah, that is it.
One more thing I do want to add is that I think the only thing that we're pretty much missing at this point is like a capture card, which I'm pretty sure we could get that very easily. Like Elgato always has. Like
we'll have to get a capture card.
We can get like Elgato and we'll call it a day.
We can do that. We can get like I don't know. We have like emulators and stuff like that.
Yeah, but if we wanted to do like console exclusive games, like on
that's
PlayStation
true.
or Xbox or
Nintendo
Switch,
it would
pretty much come down to like we need to get our hands on a capture card if we're gonna do that.
Yeah, that's fine. I still have to beat Double Survivor.
Yeah,
I'm almost done with that. And that's fun fact. I actually tried to record Double Survivor twice this week, but every time it happened, it's like my family is like, "No, we're gonna be loud and boisterous," and it's like,
I think for the sake of making sure that you have a proper like consistent upload schedule for Let's Plays, you're probably gonna have to wait until.
That's why I do Let's Plays all right here. I record a bunch of videos and then I do that.
Yeah, you're better off doing that because like
that's what I'm gonna try and do that. Record some Sunday. Since I'm working, from the sounds of things, I'm probably going to be working. I'm working a 10-hour shift tomorrow, so there's that. So that is it for this Q&A. I thank you for letting me answer your questions. I will see you next year. Do you have anything to say before I go?
No, honestly, I would just want to say everyone on Dark City's channel, you guys enjoy the new year, and hey, we just gotta hope it gets better, honestly.
Yeah.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. Happy New Year.
Happy holidays, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. And girls play video games too.
Yes, you said that.
Yes,
you said that at the beginning. You said that at the beginning.
But we hope that everyone had gone through 2022 as well as they could, and let's hope that next year will be much better this time around.
Yeah.
The road ahead definitely is tough for many people, but the best way we can deal with it is to do everything we can to push through. And that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. So I will see you on my next video, which will more than likely be my review of Super Paper Chopper. I will see you next time. This has been Dark Symphony 777 and his friends
Vondell,
Muscle Age 57,
and Louise in the background talking to her mom. I will see you next time, and cut.